If the Turks seem to be doing little, that is perhaps no surprise. Since the outbreak of the civil war in Syria, close to 2 million people have crossed the border. Many have made their way across the country and into the hands of the people smugglers on the Mediterranean coast. Experts believe there are some 30,000 in Europe engaged in this modern-day slave trade. So a first basic question, why on earth aren't they being prosecuted?
There's definitely been a huge spike in the scale of criminal activity to take advantage of the fact that there is almost an unlimited demand from these migrants that are travelling towards Europe. What we see are therefore new criminal groups moving into this criminal sector. We also see, for example, in about 1/3 of the cases, criminal groups that are also involved in drug smuggling, in money laundering, and in also moving people across the borders in order to exploit them for sex trafficking on arrival, for example.
Watching John's piece perhaps does make sense of the numbers, but they remain startling. 450,000 people, mostly Syrians, have made the perilous journey across the Mediterranean this year. Lesbos, where he was today, has taken in 250,000, and it only has, or had, a population of 80,000. But if Europe and NATO wanted to stop this traffic, could they? One former head of the SAS thinks with support and surveillance, a blockade could work.
I think some of the major elements of that would be surveillance, obviously a maritime presence, and I think training and assistance to obviously neighbouring states that are around the Mediterranean littoral, particularly those states maybe outside NATO.
European leaders meeting this week are under considerable pressure. As a result of the open welcome extended by the German Chancellor, most refugees are heading for Germany. 600,000 have arrived already this year. Experts think that figure could reach an astonishing 1.5 million by the end of 2015. We have said we will accept 20,000 refugees, but the government was heavily criticised again today by a group of lawyers for not doing more. Looking at John's report today, there is an uncomfortable thought. They seem to be coming anyway. They're desperate, nobody is stopping them. And the difference between those that make it and those that don't may just come down to the price they paid for their passage.